Next question, lady.
You threw me off when you said next question. So you've been doing jujitsu, and
Yes.
you started your personal training. I've been watching some of your videos. I actually saved one that I have to do, and I can't remember which one it is.
Was it?
Changed a lot. Like it's something that goes hand in hand. That either maybe it's just for me, but I feel like strength and conditioning and jujitsu. If you have one and not the other, you're not going to get the full benefits of jujitsu.
Okay. I think you're right. I think it's a great point. If I think the strength and conditioning, if you do it right, it could be beneficial for anything, you know. But a lot of times when people visualize strength and conditioning, God knows what goes in your mind versus what goes on in my mind. But I do understand the complementary factor. So I always recommend strength and conditioning to everyone who's alive, right? You should be conditioning your body to work
Mhm.
for strength under pressure. It's a good thing. It gives you more lifetime, right? It gives you more life expectancy when you practice this at least twice a week. So it's a good thing to do in general. Now, combining it with jujitsu, you're like, okay, there's the base level. Comparing you to you, there's the
Mhm.
base level of you doing jujitsu. So depending on your drive, you're gonna drive your body to work harder in jujitsu. But when you add the strength and conditioning, the mind doesn't override the muscles. So you're able to go longer, and all of a sudden, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, was I this strong? You're able to go longer because your mind is pushing that limit. Remember, jujitsu sometimes it's not like pushing the weight, whereas when you tip over the balance, when their balance goes, your strength turns off. So
Yeah.
sometimes it isn't like you need to push so far. Sometimes it is you need to push so far for it to work. But it is something like, okay, you're sitting on top of somebody and you're holding them down. Oh yeah, the weights are gonna help there because then you're getting used to that. So it's a great thing to say. And I always say if you're thinking of being a competitor, strength and conditioning is a must.
Mhm.
Schedule it in, and in all honesty, I tell guys, I don't really care what kind of strength and conditioning you do. Can you design it for BJJ, for MMA, for both? Absolutely. You can go out of your way to get things to function into MMA, into
Mhm.
Jiu-Jitsu, like gold. I think I crack a lot of the code within that, within functionalizing the weights and the strength and conditioning for jujitsu. I think I'm on the cusp of something great. I don't think I'm the first. I think there's been a couple of trainers that have been able to do this. We all function in the same way, but we all talk in different language. That's why it never sounds the same
Mhm.
because I'm saying this XYZ, and then a trainer in Florida is ABC, and but we're still swimming within the same function. So you could specialize, and that's what I've been offering. That's why you're like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Mhm.
I've been functioning that level. Okay, the last year I've been functioning at the level where everything resonates back to jujitsu.
Mhm.
It's been amazing. So that theory's been able to seep in into everything. So when I design my programs, I'm thinking, okay, I have a lady that she's limited physically, but I push her ass all the time to do the moves. She is more functional than a lot of first timers in jiu-jitsu, even within her limited function.
Mhm.
So the exercises is developing her physical ability as a human being, and I have somebody next to her that's also coming into jujitsu, so I'm able to see that the same moves that's helping her physically is also helping him on the mats. So that's where I'm being able to quantify how good is what I'm doing. So you could specialize to another level, but you could also do CrossFit and be just fine. It's one of the ones that I would recommend the most. I have nothing to do with CrossFit. I have nothing to do with any CrossFit gym, but the way they put their workouts together should be paid attention to because they're hard. They put them together that they're some of the most difficult combinations. Pay attention to the combinations because they matter. That's why when I put my kettlebell workout, when I put my body weight workout, when I add anything, everything in my mind is the connectivity. And this is what a lot of people are not talking about. They're not talking about the connectivity between the abs and the legs. It's one of the least looked at connectivities, the connectivity between the abs and the legs. People think they work that out, but then how functional are you? The great question is, okay, we play jujitsu, so we're very functional in that area. I'm taking that area that I'm already functioned at, and I'm trying to extend it to a new level. So, and I've been able to prove in some of my BJJ matches that I'm looking at now, and I'm like, holy crap! You know, out of this year, I was able to, if you put it on paper, I think I got leg locked 9 times. I only tapped out once, and this is live in competition. So my success rate is pretty high compared to, a lot of guys get leg locked all the damn time. So, for me to put that into numbers means something. And to me is the connectivity between my abs and my legs. They're just superior. So now that's what I'm trying to develop in my students, that connectivity. Because to me, that's going to flourish everywhere. My strikers are going to flourish. My MMA guys are going to flourish because it translates. If they allow it, it translates beautifully. So, yeah, to your previous question, so that I've been doing that for a year, the specialization of BJJ, especially because I haven't been able to fight. So I've been personal training for about 5 years, just about the amount of time I've been at Thornton. Um, so I've been back and forth. I haven't dedicated a lot to having clients because I teach class. So the classes have been able to keep me happy. But now, here's the deal. I'm a tough trainer. So that's where a lot of people get turned off. A lot of people come to me and it's hard. It's harder than they think. And I push them because in my mind, it's like, if you're paying me a great amount of money to be with me for an hour, you need to get out of here knowing that every cent was worth the time. So I don't baby anyone. And that's the tough part. I think that's the tough part is that, when it's one-on-one, when we're in a group, I don't baby the group, but you could kind of hide in the corner and I'll call you out once or twice and boom, it's over. When it's one-on-one, my eyes are on you all the time and I'll crack a joke or two, but here's the truth about me. I am amazed at the capability of the human being, if that makes any sense. I am amazed at what you can accomplish, especially when you complain about not being able to do it. That's like a turn on when you're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're about to prove everything wrong. And it isn't that I'm proving myself right because I believed. Maybe it is in my mind, but my greatest satisfaction is your doing. I have a whole thing that I push my clients to do 1,000 calories every time. I don't know if you know what 1,000 calories in an hour is. It's hell on wheels unless your body is already in that motion. Once you're with me a couple of times, it's like, all right, I could get through it. But in the beginning, it's hell on wheels because your body temperature goes up when your heart rate is that high all the time. Your body temperature goes up. So when body temperature goes up, you get nauseous, you get that wooziness, you get that, oh my gosh. So I push that limit because that's where change happens. You take a chemical reaction. When you bake a cake, the milk, the egg, and the flour become something under 350 degrees. So we got to push your body at least 1 degree, 2 degrees. That's a lot already. Your gut doesn't like hot hot in there. It kills bacteria. And that's how you change. That's how you create change. If you think any otherwise, I think that's where people fool themselves. That they think change happens without heat. It doesn't. It doesn't. Not chemically. You show me what changes chemically without heat. Okay, you could add acid to things. No, you tell me what changes. Acid breaks things down. It doesn't change it. It breaks the organism down. But things change under pressure. So you got to add the pressure. So, boom. That's the trainer I am. So that 5 years, you don't attract a lot of people. It's hard to sell. That's hard to sell. So now I'm getting in that rhythm of, okay, guys, look, there's change to be had. This is how you do it. So I had a client right now. You go on Instagram, his picture is up there. Super successful. He followed everything I said to the T. So we set out a 6-week 6-week goal, right? But how I work on a weekly basis because I don't believe in planning out a whole month. Like, God knows what's going to happen in 3 weeks. Yeah. You just don't know. And these trainers get in this system where they plan out so far. And to me, it almost seems a little dishonest because you just don't know. What if you can't make that commitment? What if me as a trainer, something happens to me that I can't commit to you? So you're going to plan a whole month out and say, well, oh, I gave you the plan. Like, to me, that's just not the right attitude. As a salesperson, I can't do that. It's like I work in a restaurant, man. The thing I promise is coming out in 10 minutes. Like that's your time of thought that I function in 10 minutes. If I tell you something, I need to remember it in 10 minutes. Like not in 6 weeks, man. So he followed the plan to the T. Food, exercise. I killed him 1,000 calories every time, twice a week. The guy transformed. The guy, it was crazy transfer. You couldn't recognize him. So much so, he got a promotion. He's moving to New York, and I lost him as a client. His life changed. Fuck. I'm not a good guy. I'm too good. His life changed. I don't see him no more. No lie, I love him. Matt, I love you, bro. He's a good guy. I'm happy for him. I told him, I said, yo, bro, don't get nobody pregnant. I told him just like that. I said, this is how it happens. You change your life, you get a new job, you get sexified, then you're throwing that thing around, slanging it, saving the neighborhood. Bro, I told him, I said, you be careful. But I'm so happy for him. I told him, I said, look, he's moving to Stanford. It's a little far. I said, look, man, you're going to Southern Connecticut. I got a connection. You go see him. You train with him twice a week. He'll take care of you. And he's stoked. He's stoked. You know, how can you not be happy? If that's the result, how can you not be happy? Fuck the money, man. Whatever. So now that's how I function. Like I want to see my guys succeed. You know, I want to see everyone succeed. But I'm tough. Like I'm a tough trainer. You know, so yeah, that's been me, and I'm not gonna change. You know, I think I'm starting to attract the people that want that type of training. You know, I think the people are starting to say, okay, maybe that's what I need. You know, a lot of times when a client calls me, I ask them, I said, what do you need to happen for you to kick some ass? Like, do you need to get cancer? Do you need to get diabetes? Is that what's gonna take? Call me when it happens. I had a client, you know, he needs to rest in peace. He called me right before he died. Hey man, I need some help. I need to train. I need to change. I said, okay, I'm gonna be out 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I'm gonna be out at this lake. Meet me there. This is for real. I'm not making this up. I went out to the lake 8 p.m. dead of night, no lights, no nothing. And I said, if he shows up, he's gonna change. If he doesn't show up, he's not gonna change. And surely enough, he didn't change. I feel bad. I feel the worst because oh my gosh, I could have done something, but I feel like I did everything I could. I wasn't gonna go drag him out of his house. No one could. Like he knew how sick he was. He knew what needed to happen. He didn't want to make it happen. I wasn't gonna tell him, hey man, eat this and you're gonna get better. It wasn't about that. He was way beyond that. It was like now it needs to be physical. and I'm an endurance guy. Like I've done cold therapy, cold training. I do the Wim Hof breathing. I do extreme meditation. I do cold therapy. Nobody wants that shit, Italia. Nobody wants that type of training. It's the most frustrating thing to me because I operate at that level 100% of the time. And then I have clients who really need that and they are not willing to take the step. And at that level, I can't take the step for you. I can't. There's nothing I could do. I'm gonna fill up the tub. You're either gonna get your ass in the tub, or you're not gonna get your ass in the tub. And then you're gonna do that every week, or you're not gonna do it every week. I could be there. I could be the hand, but my man, you gotta step in the tub. You gotta get in the cold water. You gotta get out there and do the work. And I tell the truth through the workout. That's where I get a lot of people. They show up and they think it's just all for Instagram or all for show. You go to one of my classes and you're like, your mind gets blown because it's like, how the fuck does this guy operate at this level? I do the classes with my classes. I do them all. I don't take it easy. Like we're all full sweat every day. Then I do my workout, my videos every day. It's crazy. It's crazy. Next question. We knocked that one out of the park.
Yeah, you did. So the one that I say, huh?
I try to remember everything you asked. You asked me how much time and how long I've been doing it for and how it's impacted. I try to remember everything.
So the one I saved was full body blast.
Oh shit.
That's the one. I was like, because we used to do that all the time, training, and I miss it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm saving it. So I'm saving